Welcome back, children. We are in the part 3 of the chapter, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher, written by Abraham Lincoln himself. Now, till here, we learned so many qualities about what Lincoln wants his teacher to teach his children. I hope you also are learning all these qualities with me. We are very lucky that he wrote this letter and we are reading this letter. Yes, so every quality, get thorough with it and practice it in your real life. So shall we start? Teach him to sell his brawn and brain to the highest bidders, but never to put a price tag on his soul. He can give his knowledge, he can share his knowledge with the highest bidders, with people who value his knowledge and education, but never ever put a price tag on his soul himself. For doing good things that he wants to do for everyone. Be kind-hearted, help old people, spend time with children, help everyone around the world, but don't put a price tag on it. Don't charge for it. Social service is the best service that you can do. Yes. Teach him to close his ears to howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. He should always close his ears to everyone who is fighting and who is angry. But when he thinks he is right, he should fight for it. Treat him gently, but do not cuddle him, because only the test of fire makes fine steel. Yes, you can cuddle him, you can love him, you can be nice and generous to him, but also be strict and stern to him. Because if you only be gentle, he will not learn the reality of life. Have you seen a diamond? How does a diamond shine? Only after it's gone through fire, only after he's gone through tough times. So only if my son sees tough times little bit, he will come out as strong. Yes. Let him have the courage to be impatient. Let him have the patience to be brave. Let him be impatient, because only if he is impatient, he will get his work done. All the best CEOs in the world are impatient because they want their work to be finished fast. But let him have the patience to be brave too. He has to have little patience to finish a task, to be brave. Yes. Teach him always to have sublime faith in himself, because then he will have sublime faith in the mankind. Only if you believe in yourself, only if you think you are right, you will have faith in yourself first, which is very, very important. After that, you will start having trust and faith in everyone else. Yes, help everyone. Be generous. Be nice. This is a big order, he says, but see what you can do. As we know that he was the Prime Minister at that time, he says it as a big order. He says it, I am giving you an order. But at the same time, he also says that please see how much you can help me, how much you can do for me. He is such a fine little fellow, my son. He is very fond of his son. He loves him so much. So he wants him to be a good human being. I hope you understood the chapter. We are at the end of the chapter. Yes, but I'm going to ask you some questions to find that out and to learn better. Question number 14, page 95. What does the poet father mean by close his ears to a howling mob? A mob can be very effective in influencing a person to be bad and wrong, no matter how determined he is to be good and correct. Hence, the father wants his son to close his ears to a howling mob and have faith in his own good sense. A howling mob can be really, really judgy. It is bad and they want you to come in between. His father asks him to make a correct choice. That's what he means by close his ears to a howling mob. What is the ultimate teaching Lincoln recommends, and to what end? What is the ultimate teaching that Lincoln wants? The answer is, he wants his son's teacher to teach his son to have sublime faith in himself, because only then the son will have sublime faith in mankind. He wants his son in the end to have faith in himself first and then the world. Question number 16. Lincoln does not want his son to put a price tag on his soul. What does that mean? What does he mean by this? The poet Lincoln wants his son to remain incorruptible throughout his life and never compromise on values. He wants his son always to have good values and not to be corrupted like any leader, any corrupted leader. He wants his son always to follow the correct path. That's what he means when he says never put a price tag to his soul, right? If you are doing something wrong, your soul will never be happy. It will never tell you that go on. Question number 17 on page number 95. Why is it essential for someone to have sublime faith in mankind? Why is it important to have faith in mankind? When a person has sublime faith in mankind, the faith that even when a person is bad, he will be so only sometimes and not always. The faith that all men are not bad, even if some are, then the mind is calm and optimistic, positive. Such a peaceful mind will not provoke the person to do violence or hatred or make him fearful. Such a mind will enable him to be courageous, loving and patient with everyone. When a person is bad, give him time. That person will not be bad always. You have to give him time to recover, to change. Then only it will help you being strong and courageous, and you will have faith in mankind. Yes. Question number 18, which is on page number 96 now. You can turn the page. In the line, this is a big order. What does this refer to? Now this refers to all that the father wants the teacher to teach his son. The father's request is referred to here. Whatever qualities the father wants his child to learn is referred to this. Yes. What does a big order mean here? A big order refers to the various values the father wants to be developed in his son. All the qualities he wants his son to learn means big order. Okay? Question number 19 on page number 96 itself. When the father says this is a big order, it implies. What does this imply? A, that the father has no faith in the teachers or the school. B, that the father has no faith in his son's ability to acquire these values. C, that the task of teaching such values is too difficult for any teacher in school. What does the poet imply by saying this is a big order? It's option number C. Can you mark it with me? That the task of teaching such values is too difficult for any teacher or school or even a parent. A teacher and a parent go together hand in hand to bring up a child. Question 20. There are a few other expressions which indicate that the task of inculcating such values is not easy for the teacher or the school. Pick out the expressions. What are the expressions used in this? Let's find out. It will take time, I know, Ty, to give my son. The phrase, if you can, is repeated many times, indicating that the writer knows the difficulty of the task. That's why he is again and again saying, if you can. Question number 21, which is on page 96. The poem has a long list of contrasting values. What are contrasting? Which mean different. Example, scoundrel versus a hero. They are two different people, right? Selfish politician or dedicated leader. Aren't they two different people? Yes, let's find out more contrasting values like this in the chapter. Okay, are you ready? Alright, all these answers are in the app available for you. Don't worry. Enemy versus friend. Enemy is different from friend. Dollar earned or 5 found. Learn to lose or enjoy winning. Wonder of books versus eternal mystery of birds in the sky. Two different contrasting things said at the same time. Let's see new words. Sell his brawn and brain to the highest. Bidders versus never to put a price tag on his soul. Treat him gently versus do not cuddle him. They mean different, right? Courage to be impatient or patience to be brave. Sublime faith in himself or sublime faith in mankind. A big order versus see what you can do. This also is different. Honorable to fail versus to cheat. Gentle or tough. How to laugh when he is sad. Question number 22 on page number 96. Identify the lines which highlight the following qualities or values. Lots of values in this poem. To be positive and optimistic. Which are the lines which show us to be positive? And take only the good that comes through. How to laugh when he is sad. Two very important lines which show us how to be positive. To be able to accept failure and defeat. Teach him to learn to lose and also to enjoy winning. This shows us we should accept our failures and defeat. C. To be able to appreciate what is beyond and human understanding. But also give him quiet time to ponder the eternal mystery of birds in the sky, bees in the sun, and the flowers on a green hillside. These show us to appreciate what is beyond human understanding, what God gave us, what God made for us. We should appreciate those. To have faith and belief in oneself. Teach him to have faith in his own idea, even if everyone tells him they are wrong. That means you have to have faith and belief in yourself first. E. Not to tread the beaten track. Try to give my son the strength not to follow the crowd when everyone is getting on the bandwagon. That means you should not follow everyone whether they are right or wrong. You should have your own right path. F. Not being gullible. What is gullible? Gullible means to listen to everyone, to listen to everyone's sweetness. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him also to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. He should not just blindly listen to everyone. G. To be able to discriminate the right from the wrong. Teach him to close his ears to a howling mob and to stand and fight if he thinks he is right. This is the statement from your poem which means to discriminate the right and wrong. Moving on, read the following extracts and answer the following questions, okay? Page number 96 and 97. These are some lines from your poem, and then we have a question related to this line. Let's read the line. Teach him that for every enemy there is a friend. It will take time, I know. What does the first line mean? The first line means that the world is not made up of only enemies, but of also many people who can be your good friends. Yes, it means that you only have enemies in your life? No, you have a lot of friends too. Question number 2, which is on page number 97. Only the test of fire makes fine steel. Who is this line meant for? Yes, this line is meant for his own son. He wants him to be strong, and the test of fire makes fine steel. That's what he wants to say to his son. Now B. Explain the literal meaning of the line. What does this line actually mean? Only when steel passes through fire, difficult times, can it become strong. Now you can connect. Only when you pass through difficult times, you become a strong person. What human virtue is emphasized here? What human value can we see here? We can see the courage to face adversities in life. Adversities means any kind of situation, good, bad, happy, sad. Any kind of situation comes, you should be able to go through it. Now we will go to paragraph writing. I'm going to read the question, then we will see some points and we will convert that into a paragraph. This also is on page number 97. Teach him to listen to all men, but teach him to filter all he hears on a screen of truth. Bring out the different ideas conveyed in these lines. Let's see the points now. First, show respect to everyone by listening to them without discrimination. 2. Never accept anything at face value. Don't look at a person and see how he is. 3. Ponder deeply about everything he hears and accepts something as the truth only after considering it properly. Yes. Now we will convert these points into a paragraph. The poet here says that it is important to listen to all men. However, he wants his son to give in to what they say, but learn to filter all that he has heard and find out what the truth is and follow it. He wants his son to first find out what the person is, what the truth is, and then follow it. I hope you understand this. Question 2. Which is on page number 97. Do you agree with the poet when he says, only the test of fire makes fine steel? Do you agree with what he's saying? Do you have to go through difficult times and tough times to become a strong person? We have to give reasons to support our point of view. Now the points are, the poet wants his son to pass through fire. Second point, he is sure that only the test of fire produces strong steel. Third, the poet wants not the absence of fire but its presence so that his son emerges stronger. Now let's see the paragraph for the same. We have converted the points into the paragraph so you can understand well. Listen and remember the points so you can convert it to the paragraph in your exam. I will read the paragraph to you. The line refers to the way the poet wants his son to be trained in school. Literally, the line means that when steel is tempered with fire, it gets harder, stronger. Similarly, if his son is put through rigorous training, he too could grow up to be as strong as steel. The virtue, the value, the good quality that the poet is trying to uphold in this line is of discipline. Yes, which molds his character. I personally think that discipline goes a long way in molding character and imbibing values. Now, one discipline value I will talk about. Your mama tells you to get up every morning at 4 o'clock and study. Now, that is very, very tough. Even I am not an early morning person. But if I get up early, my mind is fresh, I will read better, I will learn better. So, that is discipline. Yes. Now we go to question number 1 of the activities column, which is on page number 97 itself. List all the values which the poet father wants the teacher to teach his son. What are the values that we learn in this poem? Let's find out. And I hope you also put all these values in your life. First, awareness of all kinds of people, good and bad. Importance of hard work, sportive spirit, a mind without any envy, without any jealousy. Joys of reading and also appreciating nature. You should read too, you should appreciate God's given nature too. Honesty, never lie. Self-confidence, believe in yourself. Gentleness with people, old people, children, sick people, gentleness with them. Toughness with people, be tough to people who are mean to you. Don't go for bullying. Wisdom, positivity, optimism, faith in life, caution about sycophancy, assertiveness to demand his due at work, self-righteous, courage to be impatient, patience to be brave, sublime faith in himself, sublime faith in mankind. These are very, very important points, okay? You should remember those thoroughly for your exams. Now pick out any 3 values which, in your opinion, your teachers have to necessarily teach all students. And state your reasons too. Which are the good qualities that you think you definitely require and why? Honesty, positivity and sublime faith in himself. These are very important qualities and values. Honesty keeps the mind calm and peaceful, leading to happiness. When you don't lie, you are always calm because you know you have not lied. You are honest. It is also needed in order to have a realistic view of the world. Positivity helps the mind open and cheerful, thereby ready to face any kind of problems in your life. Sublime faith in himself will enable him to have sublime faith in mankind, which is utterly necessary for a courageous and successful life. Sublime faith in yourself is definitely the most important quality. Now, C part of the question, make suggestions on how these 3 values could be taught. The teacher has to be a model for all the qualities that he or she has to teach, or else all efforts will be futile, all efforts will be waste. Honesty can be encouraged by convincing the students that there will be no punishment for the wrong done if the students voluntarily confess to it. If you are wrong, if you have failed, confess to it, say the truth, then the teacher should not give you any punishment for that. Okay, positivity can be cultivated by discussing the positive and negative aspects of every event, like that of securing high marks at tests or a death of a close relative, becoming rich or poor, etc. Sublime faith can be cultivated by encouraging the students to understand themselves thoroughly, have realistic goals and make every effort to achieve them. That's how you can have sublime faith in yourself and mankind. Now we come to the last question. Yes, question number 2. Let's start reading this. The poet cum father contrasts each harsh lesson that his son will have to learn with the truth about the world. Write down 5 such examples. The first one is done for you. We have done all for you. You can see all the answers in the app. Now let's see. The harsh lessons that the father wants his son to learn are: don't follow the crowd, filter what you hear, laugh when you're sad, never put a price tag on your soul, stand and fight when he is right. And the truth about the world or people are, everyone is getting on the bandwagon. Listen to all men. No shame in tears. Sell brawn and brain to highest bidders. And the last one, close his ears to a howling mob. I hope you understood this question and you're able to answer all the questions that are mentioned. Yes, we have lots of games related to this poem also in our app. And guess what? You get points. I will be personally monitoring all the points. Yes. Now we have come to the end to this beautiful poem, Abraham Lincoln's letter to his son's teacher. I will see you next time with another chapter. Signing out, Kashish Chugh. Bye-bye.